Before you move away from this
There is a
moment,
specific
before your
kind of
eyes look for
tiredness
something
that
else
doesn't
to
show
fill
up
the
on
next
any
seconds of your
medical
day.
chart.
Pause for
It is
just a
the
little while
tiredness of
and
someone who
listen
has been
carefully.
trying to be
There are
good
many
enough for a very
voices
long
speaking
time,
around you every
who has
day.
read the verses,
Messages appear
done
on
the
your screen.
practices, shown
People
up when they
speak their
didn't want to
opinions.
show up,
Responsibilities
served when the
pull your
serving felt
attention in
hollow,
different directions,
prayed when the
and
words
thoughts run
landed
through your
nowhere they
mind
could
faster
feel.
than you can slow them down.
You know the moment,
But
I mean,
among
that
all
Sunday
those
morning when you were
voices,
getting ready
there
for
are
church
rare
and somewhere
moments
between the
when
bathroom
something
mirror
deeper
and the
calls
car
for
door,
your attention.
something in you just deflates.
This is one of those
Not with
moments.
anger, not
You
with
may
doubt,
think
exactly.
you simply
Just
came
with a
across
kind
this
of gray
message
heaviness
while
that has no
scrolling,
name.
while
The
resting,
moment in a
or while
worship
searching for
service when
something else to
everyone around
watch.
you seems to be
It may appear
experiencing
ordinary to
something,
you right now,
and you are standing there
yet
going through
what
the
feels
motions,
ordinary on the
wondering
surface
what is wrong with
is
you that
often
you
where I
cannot feel
choose
it
to place
anymore.
something
The tightness
meaningful
in your chest
for your
when
heart,
another sermon starts
because
with
there are
what you need to
times
do
when a
more
soul
of.
becomes
Pray
tired
more,
without realizing
trust more,
how deeply
give more,
that tiredness has
surrender
settled.
more. The quiet
You keep
shame of
moving
sitting
through
with
your
a passage
days.
you have read 100
You continue
times and feeling
fulfilling
nothing,
responsibilities.
not even doubt.
You answer
just
people when they
absence.
speak to
the
you.
way you have started
You
reading
keep going
Christian
forward
books and underlining
even when
things
your
that
heart
used to
feels
light
heavier
something
than
up
it
in
should.
you.
From the
And now you are
outside,
just underlining
everything may
because you
appear
are
normal.
supposed to.
But inside,
If you
there
have
have been
felt
quiet
this, you are not
questions
broken.
forming.
You are
Questions
not
about
losing your
direction.
faith.
Questions
You are paying
about
attention
purpose.
to something real.
Questions about
There
why
is a verse
certain
that has
things have
probably been
happened
quoted
the
at
way
you
they
many
have.
times in this
You have
condition.
wondered
Jesus
whether
saying,
the struggles
"Come to
you
me,
faced
all who
had
are weary
meaning.
and burdened,
You have wondered
and I will
whether
give
your
you
prayers
rest.
were heard when answers
Take my
did
yoke
not
upon
arrive
you.
quickly.
And if
You
are
have
honest
wondered
every
if the
time you
path
hear it,
ahead
some
will
part
ever
of you
become
thinks
clearer.
a yoke is a
And while
harness.
those thoughts
He is
have
asking
moved
me
through
to
your
carry
heart,
something else.
you may have
I am
believed that
already
no
so
one
tired.
truly noticed
And the
the weight
invitation
behind
to
them.
rest comes with a piece
But
of equipment attached.
I have always
What if the
noticed.
problem isn't
I have
your
seen
faith?
every
What
moment
if
when
the
you tried to
problem is
remain
that no one
strong,
ever told you
even
what a
when your
yoke
strength
actually
felt
meant to the
thin.
people who first
I have
heard
watched every time you kept
Because
a
when
calm
I understood
expression
it, really
while your
understood it,
mind
something
carried
I had been
confusion.
carrying for years
I have seen
finally
the
came
quiet
off.
moments
Let me show
when
you
you
what I
wished
found.
someone could understand
Marcus spent
what you were
22
going
years
through
in pastoral
without needing you
ministry,
to explain
not
everything.
as a volunteer,
Nothing
as the
about those
person
moments
people
has been
called
hidden
when
from
their
me.
marriages were ending.
Long before
Their
this
children
day
were leaving
arrived,
the faith.
I already knew
Their
the seasons
diagnoses
your
came back
life would
wrong.
pass through.
He was
I
the
knew
one
the
who
moments
showed up.
when you would
He
feel
was also
confident,
the one who had,
and the moments when
somewhere
uncertainty
around
would make
year
your steps
15,
slower.
stopped
I knew
being
the
able to
chapters
pray
that would
without a
bring
script.
joy and the
Not
chapters
because
that
he
would
stopped
challenge your
believing,
faith.
because
Yet
somewhere
knowing
along
all
the
of
way,
that never
prayer had
changed how I
become a
looked at your
performance
life,
he gave before an
because
audience he
your
couldn't
value
disappoint.
was never
When he
decided
told
by
me
the
this, he said
circumstances
something I
surrounding
haven't
you.
stopped thinking
Your worth
about.
was never
He said,
measured by how
"I
perfect
think
your
I have
journey
been
appeared.
carrying a yoke
Your
that
purpose
Jesus
was
never
not
put on
written
me.
according to the
I
approval
just don't know
or
how to put it
understanding of
down."
other people.
He was
It
more
was written with
theologically
love
precise
that
than
existed
he knew.
long
In first
before your
century
first memory
Judaism,
formed.
a rabbi's
And
yoke wasn't a
sometimes,
metaphor for
when the noise of
difficulty.
life grows
It
too
was a
loud,
technical term.
you forget this truth.
Every rabbi had a yoke.
You
his
begin to
particular
measure yourself by
interpretation of the
temporary
Torah,
things.
his rulings
You
on
measure
what
your
God
worth by
required,
achievements
how
that
to
seem
read
too
this
small.
passage,
You measure your
what that
future by
commandment
delays
meant
that
in
feel
daily
too long.
life. What
You
was
measure
permitted,
your identity by
what was
mistakes that
forbidden,
happened in moments when
what
you were
made
still
you
learning.
clean,
But those
what made you
measurements were
unclean.
never meant to define
When you
you.
became a student of
There
a
is
rabbi,
a deeper
you took
truth
his yoke.
about your
You
life
accepted his
that does not
interpretive framework.
change when
You
circumstances
lived
change.
inside his reading of what
Even
God
now,
was asking.
while you listen
And
to these
different
words,
rabbis had very
there is
different
something
yokes.
within you that
The
recognizes this
Pharisees'
truth.
yoke was famously
Something
heavy,
inside
not because they
you
were
knows
villains,
that
they
your
were
life
trying to
carries
protect the
meaning
law through
beyond the
elaborate
difficulties
fences.
you have faced.
But the
That
accumulation
quiet
of
recognition
613
is not an
commandments
accident.
plus oral
It is the
tradition
reminder that
plus
hope has
interpretive
not
rulings
disappeared from your
created
path.
something almost
Sometimes
impossible to carry.
hope becomes
And if
quiet.
you couldn't carry
Sometimes
perfectly,
it
you were
waits
out.
patiently while you move through difficult
Unclean, not
seasons.
enough.
Sometimes it
Most
feels
of the
distant
people listening
because
to Jesus that
disappointment
day
has
knew
made your
this
heart
weight
cautious.
intimately.
But hope never
They had been
completely
measured
leaves a
against
life
a yoke
that
and
still
found
carries
wanting.
purpose.
Not because
And
God
your
had
life
measured
still
them,
carries
because
purpose.
a system had.
This is why
And into
moments
that
like this
exhaustion,
appear
Jesus
when you
said,
least
"Come
expect
to
them,
me,
not
try
to
harder,
entertain you
under
for
a
a few
better
seconds,
system.
but to
Not
gently
here are the
remind
corrected
you
rules.
that the
Come to
story
me,
of your life
and what I
is
offer
still
you, my yoke,
unfolding.
my reading of what God actually
There are chapters
requires is
ahead that you
different in
cannot
its
see yet.
fundamental nature from
There
what you
are are
barbarian
opportunities waiting
For
that
my
have
yoke
not
is easy.
arrived yet.
The Greek word
There are
is
lessons
Christus
growing
Christ,
within you
fitted to
right
the one
now
bearing it,
that will guide your
suited to your
future
actual
in
size.
ways you cannot
A
fully
well-made yoke in
understand
the
today.
ancient world was cut
So
for the
instead of
specific
looking at your
animal.
life only through the lens
If
of
it
what has
chafed,
already
the
happened,
carpenter hadn't done the
begin
work
to look at
properly.
it
The
through
yoke
the
that fit
lens
felt
of what is still
paradoxically
possible. Allow
lighter
yourself
than
to
carrying
believe
the weight
again
on an
that your
uneven
path
shoulder.
has meaning.
Jesus isn't
Allow yourself
offering
to
you less
trust
carry.
that
He
delays
is
do
offering
not
you a
cancel
yoke that was
destiny.
cut for you. And
Allow
here is the
yourself to
detail that
remember that
keeps returning
strength
to
can
me.
return
Before
even
his
after
ministry,
seasons of exhaustion.
Jesus was a tech
And
and a
while you are
craftsman.
listening to this message,
Someone who
take a
worked with
moment
wood,
to acknowledge
who
the
made
faith
things for
that
people
still
to use
lives
with their
inside
hands
you.
and their bodies.
If these words
He
are
had,
touching
in
your
all
heart right
likelihood,
now,
made yokes,
pause for a moment
had
and
measured
write
animals,
yes
stood
in the
in the
comments
workshop and
as a
understood
simple
what fit
declaration
meant,
that you are still
what
open
design
to
for
hope,
you meant,
still
had
open to
seen what a
purpose,
poorly fitted
and still
yoke
willing
did,
to
how
move
it
forward
blistered,
with faith.
how it
That
redistributed
small
weight
act
wrong,
is
how it
not
exhausted
about an
the animal
algorithm.
faster than the load
It is about
itself.
reminding your own
When he
heart
says, "My yoke
that
is easy,"
belief
he is not speaking
is still
in
alive
abstraction.
within you.
He is speaking
Take
with
a
the
moment
precision of a
and
craftsman
breathe
who has stood
slowly
in the sawdust
before you
and
continue
understood the
listening,
difference between
because
carrying
what I am
something
about to
designed for you
reveal may
and
answer
carrying
questions
something cut
that have been
for someone
quietly
else's
forming in your
shoulders.
heart
The
for a
invitation is
long
not to
time.
stop carrying.
Many people
It
move
is to
quickly
stop
through their
carrying
days
something
without
that was
stopping
never
to
cut for you.
understand
And
why
if it
their
has been
spirit
chafing
feels the
for
way it
years, if the
does.
spiritual life
But
you
you
have been
stayed
trying
here,
to maintain
and that choice
has left
already
marks
shows
that
that
look
something
less
within
like
you
growth
is searching
and
for
more
truth.
like damage. The
Recently,
chafing is not
there have
evidence
been
that you were
moments
too weak.
when your
It is
heart
evidence
felt
that the yoke
unusually
wasn't
heavy.
fitted.
Not always
Marcus
because
sat with
something
this for
dramatic
3 days
happened,
before he said
but because
anything.
certain thoughts
Then he
began
called and
returning
said,
again
"I have been
and
carrying
again.
the Pharisees' yoke my
Sometimes
entire ministry.
you tried to ignore them.
I thought it was God's.
Sometimes
The
you
pattern
distracted
runs
yourself
deeper than one
with
passage.
responsibilities.
Watch
Sometimes
what
you
Matthew
convinced
does
yourself
with
that
this
the
same
feeling would
contrast.
disappear if
Just
you
2
simply
chapters
kept
later,
moving forward.
Jesus
Yet the
is
heaviness
watching the
did not
Pharisees in
completely
Matthew
disappear.
23, and
It
he
followed
says
you
something
into
stunning.
quiet
He
moments.
says they
It
tie up
appeared
heavy
when you woke
burdens,
up in the morning.
hard to bear,
It returned
and
when the
lay them
noise
on
around you
people's
faded
shoulders.
and your
But
thoughts
they
finally had
themselves
room
are
to
not willing
breathe.
to move them with their
You wondered
finger.
why
He is
peace felt
describing
harder
the
to hold than
mechanics of a
before.
particular
You
kind of
wondered why
spiritual
simple
authority.
things suddenly
The
required
authority
more
that
effort
defines
from your
what God
heart.
requires without
There were
inhabiting the
even
requirement
times
itself.
when you looked around
That
your
loads
life
you with the
and
standard
could not
and then
clearly
watches to see
explain
if you can
why
maintain
something
it.
inside you
You
felt
have likely
unsettled.
experienced this,
But I want you to
not
understand
necessarily
something
from a
important.
Pharisee,
Not
maybe from a
every
pastor
heavy
whose
season
theology
means
was
something is wrong with
technically
you.
correct, but whose
Sometimes
care for you was
heaviness
conditional
is the
on your
sign that
performance.
something inside
Maybe
you
from a
is
church
being
culture where
reshaped.
your worth was measured
Growth
by your
rarely
attendance,
feels comfortable while
your
it is
tithing,
happening.
your
Transformation
visible
often
sanctity, maybe
begins
from
in
your own
quiet
internal
places
voice, which
where the
absorbed
soul
the
is
standard
learning
so
lessons
completely
that cannot
that
be
it
taught
became
through
indistinct.
easy days. When life feels smooth and predictable, the heart rarely pauses to grow deeper. But when questions appear and certainty begins to shift, the spirit starts searching for something more meaningful. That search is not weakness. It is the beginning of wisdom. There are moments in every life when familiar paths stop feeling as satisfying as they once did. The routines that once brought comfort begin to feel smaller than they used to. The things that once distracted you from deeper questions begin losing their power to hold your attention. You may have noticed this happening recently. Certain conversations no longer excite you the way they once did. Certain habits no longer bring the same sense of peace. Certain expectations from others no longer feel like the direction your heart truly wants to follow. This change can feel confusing at first. Part of you wonders whether you are simply tired. Another part of you wonders whether something is wrong. But often what you are experiencing is a quiet invitation to grow beyond the place where you once felt comfortable. Your spirit knows when a season is beginning to change. Even before your mind understands it, your heart begins sensing that something new is approaching. The old ways of thinking begin to loosen their hold. The old fears begin losing their authority. The old limitations begin to look smaller than they once seemed. That is why certain emotions have been moving through you. Reflection has become deeper. Memories have returned more often. You have been thinking about your past decisions, your future direction, and the meaning behind your experiences. These thoughts are not appearing randomly. They are the quiet preparation for a new level of understanding that your life is ready to receive. When a new chapter approaches, the soul often begins examining what the previous chapter has taught. You remember moments that shaped your strength. You remember lessons that came through difficulty. You remember people who influenced your path, both positively and negatively. Through all those memories, something important becomes clear. You have survived more than you once believed you could. There were days in the past when you thought certain struggles might break your spirit. There were moments when you believed the pain might last forever. Yet somehow you kept moving forward, even when your steps felt slow and uncertain. That quiet resilience inside you did not appear by accident. It was formed through every challenge you faced. Every difficulty that once seemed like an obstacle became part of the strength you carry today. Every disappointment that once made you question your direction helped you learn what truly matters. Every moment when you felt alone helped you discover the courage that already existed within you. These changes do not happen overnight. They develop slowly as you gain experience and understanding. Every challenge you face becomes another teacher guiding you toward wisdom. There will still be days when your strength feels smaller than usual. That is normal. Even the strongest hearts need moments of rest. Growth does not mean you will never feel tired again. It simply means that you now carry the ability to rise again after those moments pass. So when difficult thoughts appear, remember how far you have already come. Remember the struggles you overcame. Remember the lessons you learned. Remember the courage that brought you through moments you once thought were impossible. Your story is not finished. The strength you are developing today will prepare you for opportunities that have not yet arrived. The patience you are learning now will guide you through future decisions with greater clarity. The wisdom you are gaining through experience will help you recognize the paths that truly belong to your journey. One day, you will look back at this season and realize that it was shaping you in ways you could not fully see at the time. What once felt like pressure was actually preparation. What once felt like confusion was actually growth. What once felt like delay was actually guidance toward something better. This understanding will bring peace to your heart. Instead of fearing challenges, you will begin to see them as opportunities to become stronger and wiser. Instead of questioning your worth during difficult moments, you will remember that every experience contributes to the person you are becoming. So continue walking forward with courage. Trust the strength that is growing within you. Allow yourself to believe that brighter seasons are still ahead. If you feel encouraged by these words, take a moment and write, "I trust your plan," in the comments. That simple declaration is a reminder that your journey is guided by purpose, even when the full picture is not visible yet. Stay here with me until the end of this message, because what you are about to hear may become the encouragement your heart has been searching for. Many people move quickly through their days without giving themselves the space to reflect on the direction of their life. They hurry from one responsibility to another, from one distraction to the next, and sometimes they forget to pause long enough to notice what their soul truly needs. But you stayed. You chose to listen a little longer, and that choice matters more than you realize. When a person slows down and opens their heart to reflection, clarity often begins to appear in places that once seemed confusing. Right now, you may feel as though you are standing between two seasons of life. One season is behind you, a chapter filled with experiences that shaped your understanding. It contains moments of joy that you still remember fondly. It also contains challenges that tested your strength and patience. Some of those moments brought happiness, while others left questions that still echo quietly in your thoughts. The other season is ahead of you, a chapter that has not fully revealed itself yet. The future always carries a certain level of mystery. You cannot see every step before you take it. You cannot predict every event that will shape your journey. But uncertainty does not mean that your future lacks meaning. In fact, many of the most meaningful experiences in life begin during moments when the path is not completely visible. What matters most is not whether you can see every detail of the road ahead. What matters is the direction your heart chooses today. Every day you are given the opportunity to take small steps toward the life you want to build. These steps may seem simple at first. They may not look dramatic or extraordinary. But over time, those small decisions create the foundation for something powerful. When you choose patience instead of frustration, you strengthen your peace. When you choose kindness instead of bitterness, you strengthen your character. When you choose faith instead of fear, you strengthen your hope. These choices shape the direction of your life more than any single event ever could. There will always be moments when the world around you feels uncertain. News, opinions, and expectations will continue to compete for your attention. Some voices will try to convince you that life is only about competition, comparison, and constant pressure. But your journey does not have to follow that pattern. You have the ability to create a different kind of path, a path where your inner peace matters more than external approval, a path where your actions reflect compassion and understanding, a path where your faith in the future remains stronger than temporary challenges. When you live with this mindset, something remarkable begins to happen. The energy you bring into the world begins to influence the people around you. Your calm presence becomes a source of encouragement for others. Your perseverance becomes a reminder that difficult seasons can be overcome. You may not always realize it, but your life has the power to inspire someone else who is quietly struggling. The way you continue moving forward despite challenges can give another person the courage to do the same. The kindness you show during difficult days can remind someone that goodness still exists in the world. This is one of the hidden purposes of your journey. Your story is not only about your own growth, it is also about the light you can bring into the lives of others. Every lesson you learn becomes wisdom that can help someone else one day. Every challenge you overcome becomes proof that resilience is possible. Every moment of faith you hold on to becomes encouragement for someone who is losing hope. So as you step into the days ahead, remember that your life carries influence beyond what you can easily see. The way you think, speak, and act creates ripples that move far beyond your immediate surroundings. Choose words that uplift. Choose actions that reflect compassion. Choose decisions that align with the person you truly want to become. When you live this way, your path begins to fill with purpose. The future will still contain challenges, because every meaningful journey includes moments that test your strength. But you will face those moments with greater confidence because you understand that every experience can contribute to your growth. You are not walking through life without direction. Your steps are leading you toward lessons, opportunities, and connections that will shape the chapters still waiting to be written. So do not lose hope when the path feels uncertain. Do not allow temporary difficulties to convince you that your story has stopped progressing. Every sunrise is another opportunity to begin again with renewed faith and determination. If these words have brought peace or encouragement into your heart today, take a moment to write Amen in the comments as a simple way of expressing gratitude for the strength and guidance you are receiving in your life. And if you feel happy with the message you heard today, consider supporting this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who may need encouragement in their own journey. Your support helps these messages reach people who might be searching for hope during difficult moments. Stay encouraged, stay faithful, and remember that every step you take forward, no matter how small it may seem, brings you closer to the purpose and peace that your life was meant to experience.